What is up, everybody? Welcome back. I am Dr. Alex Spinoso, and today we're going to talk about one of the hottest topics in dieting world right now, which is the ketogenic diet. What is the ketogenic diet? The ketogenic diet is a diet that is high in fats and low to no carbs. The main idea of the ketogenic diet is to get your body in what's called ketosis, which is production of energy through fats. And this is in theory supposed to take the fat that's on your body and convert it to energy, as well as the fats that you consume and convert it to energy. Now, the ketogenic diet was first developed in the 1920s, early 1900s, as an anti-seizure diet for children. Studies show since then that putting children that have epilepsy and that have seizure disorders on a ketogenic diet reduces seizure activity by up to 30% and is definitely one of the biggest treatments of epilepsy and of seizure disorders in children. So that's what it was first developed for. The biggest issue I hear when I talk about people who have switched over to the ketogenic diet is the fact that they get to eat however much fat you want. And if you research it online, there are many articles that say, have as much of this as you want. Now, the original ketogenic diet was very restrictive when it came to certain saturated fats, such as butter and cheese. Now, in the original studies, there was only about 4 ounces of butter and cheese allowed daily. The rest of the fats came from healthy fats, such as avocados, such as coconut and macadamia nut oils. Also came from other different types of nuts, almonds, peanuts. Those were where people's fats were coming from. It wasn't coming from butter, and it wasn't coming from cheese. These are saturated fats. And in the studies that prove that ketogenic diet actually works, the amount of saturated fats in a patient's diet was less than 5% of the total calories for a day. What should your breakdown of calories be for a ketogenic diet? This is another one of the biggest pitfalls that I see, is that people eliminate carbs or they lower their carbs out of their diet completely and they don't replace it with enough fats. They think that eating fats is going to make them fat. The issue is that if you don't eat fats and you lower your carbs, then that's going to make you fat because you don't have enough calories. Think of it this way. If I eat 2,000 calories a day, and I cut the carbs out of that, and I drop that down to 1,500, 1,400 calories a day, and I work out and exercise daily, my body is starving by the end of the day. If I don't replace those calories, that 500 calories that I lost through cutting carbs, with fat calories, my body is going to think that it is starving. And when your body thinks it's starving, it is very efficient at holding on to as much energy as possible. And how does it hold on to that energy? By making fat. So if you lower your calories through carbs and you do not increase your calories with the fats in the ketogenic diet, you will actually put your body into starvation mode and your body will pack on the weight instead. The breakdown for a ketogenic diet should be around 70% of your calories a day from fats, around 15 to 25% of your calories a day from protein, and then about 5 to 10% of your calories a day from carbs. In the original studies, patients were limited to less than 20 grams of carbs a day. The problem was that this was very, very restrictive on patients, and they didn't have the ability to do this over a long period of time. So the ketogenic diet is phenomenal for weight loss. It works. It has proven to work time and time again. However, the issue is that the ketogenic diet, while it is a great diet for weight loss, doesn't seem to be a great diet for maintenance of that weight loss. The issue is that over a period of time, the body starts to crave carbs. And you could go back to the paleo argument, oh, we never ate carbs before. You could go back to any of the low-carb diets or no-carb diet books and say, oh, well, we weren't created to digest carbs and to eat carbs and yada yada. Over the hundreds of thousands of years that humans and humanoids have existed, we have been able to develop the ability to digest carbs. So having that argument is actually a poor excuse for not eating carbs. The other thing that I see is that when people start to cheat, or they want a pizza on the weekend, so they want a beer with their friends, the problem is that the body is not used to digesting those carbs. When it's not used to digesting those carbs, at least in small amounts throughout the day, or at least with a cheat meal a week, things like that, the body doesn't know how to use the carbs, and the body becomes very bloated, and you also gain a lot of weight very fast. The other thing is that sugar in carbs, or sugar in cakes and sweets and things that people want to eat as part of their cheat meals, donuts big time as well, are very, very addictive. They found that in studies, sugars, pure sugar, was actually more addictive to mice than heroin and cocaine, because it switched on the brain and just had them going crazy. So think about that, is that sugar is more addictive than cocaine and heroin in lab rats. So what do you think it's going to do to you? So when you're doing the ketogenic diet, you want to make sure you have at least a little bit of carbs, not just from vegetables, but you can put a little bit of rice in your meals, a slice of bread here and there, just making sure that it is less than 5 to 10% of your total calories for the day. This is to ensure that you still are losing the weight, but also your body does not freak out when you take in any type of carbs from a cheat meal, such as an ice cream, or such as a pizza, or such as a donut, things like that. Another argument I get is that I have high cholesterol, a high-fat diet is going to increase my cholesterol. Actually, this has been studied multiple times in both low-fat diets and high-fat diets, and it was found when comparing the two over a 6-month period, the patients who had a high-fat diet had a cholesterol panel 3 times more improved than the patients that had a low-fat diet. So the high-fat diet was proven to not only help with cholesterol panels and reduce bad cholesterol, but it was also shown to increase natural testosterone in the body. Why? Because testosterone is actually produced from cholesterol. So high, good cholesterol diet resulted in better cholesterol panels than high carbohydrate diets. So the biggest things to remember about the ketogenic diet are, 1, if you're going to lower your carbs down to 5 to 10%, you need to increase the amount of fats that you eat up to 60 to 70% of your caloric intake daily. How do you check your caloric intake daily? Just Google basal metabolic rate. That's how many calories you should be burning a day. Number 2, if you're going to do it for a long period of time, make sure you put a little bit of carbs in your diet, or have that little bit of carbs. Do not completely eliminate it, because your body will trigger an addiction response when it finally gets those donuts, or when it finally gets that piece of cake. That's important. Number 3, your cholesterol will actually improve on the ketogenic diet. So people that are worried about high cholesterol or family history of high cholesterol, a high-fat diet, remember, has been shown to improve cholesterol panels in patients. And lastly, remember, there is always going to be some sort of fad diet, some sort of new diet to try out there. The best diet is that one not only you can stick to, but that works for you. So try out the different diets. Allow yourself to experience the diets over 2 to 3 months before you go changing to another diet. Make sure you're getting your exercise in, and make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Thank you very much. This is Medical Mondays on Ketogenic Diet. I am Dr. Alex Spinoso. I'll see you next week. If you have any questions, comments, please DM me, comment below, ask me questions. I need more questions. I appreciate all the questions I'm already getting. You guys have a good week, and I'll see you next week.